Good morning and welcome to our Facebook Live this morning. It is Thursday, excuse me, the 27th of January 2022, and my name is Jenny McCormack and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. And I bring you some live demonstrations Monday through to Thursday. And I also run online classes and in-person classes throughout the month. So this week we've been focusing on this stamp set here, called Tulip Fields, as you can see. And this actually was the stamp set that went with my monthly class in a box and in-person classes. And I thought I would do some variations on that this week. So I have shown the cards that we were using, that we were creating in the class, and I'll try and tag back to the YouTube video for that. So if you haven't seen those, then you'll have an opportunity to see them. And so these are variations, just really using the stamp set and potentially the dies. So good evening to you, Kerry. Fingers crossed your internet allows you to watch us all live. So let me see. This was our first card that we did using the piece across the top and then the individual triangle stamped in different colours and the windmill, and then I used the trees and the bushes on there. So that was the first one we did. And then yesterday I did some pattern playing. Morning, Catherine. So we have this one here, a sunburst or starburst design, where I've just literally stamped these elements going round in alternating colours, Mango Melody and So Saffron, and then I put a sentiment in the middle, so it meant that if the centres of your triangles didn't match up, it didn't really matter. It covered any gaps that there might have been. And then I did this one as well yesterday, just alternating again two colours and then just moving the triangle shape stamp, which is this one here, at 180 degrees. And then the sentiments for these two come from a coordinating flowering tulips set. So what I thought we'd do today is something different, and that is create a Delft look. So Delft is a very popular pottery design, which I believe came from Holland. I might be wrong. It's certainly associated with Holland, and typically it is a blue and white glazed pottery. So I thought what we could do is use the windmill stamp in a line. And also with this stamp set you get this lovely little, almost like tulip heads or fleur-de-lis, that sort of thing, and I thought that would be really nice excuse me, to break it up. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but that's always the fun of a live crafting session. Hi Babsy. Oh, no worries, thank you. Thanks for joining us, even if it's only briefly. Morning, Isabel. So, I'm going to be using the windmill and the border, and I'm going to use some basic white card, and Misty Moonlight is a really good, sorry, I've got a tickle today, colour, I think, for some Delftware. It's a softer blue. So Delft is typically blue and white. So let's give this a go. So I'm using Misty Moonlight ink. I also have to hand some of this lovely denim ribbon. Now I may not use it because it is a darker blue. What do they call it? Just, yeah, denim ribbon. So it is a little bit darker, but I thought it might work if I need it. So I've got it to hand, and this is in the mini catalogue. Okay, so let's start by creating a border, I think top and bottom, and then I'm going to put my windmills across the middle, I think. So I've got a couple of ideas. Let's see if they come to fruition. So I've just popped this on the stamp. Hopefully I've got it fairly straight on the block, rather. There's something in there. So I'm just going to ink this up, and this is the long thick block, which is an I. I can never remember the numbers of the larger blocks. No, I haven't, the letters rather. I haven't really got that on very even, but I think we'll be okay. Excellent, Lynn. I'm in the background while Lynn's working. Good morning to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stamp this one. It does just fit across perfectly. I was thinking it might come up a little bit short, but that looks good. So there we go. There's that really pretty border. Okay, it doesn't look very straight, so I am just going to reseat this. Let me just wipe this down. Morning, Dee. So what I'm going to do is just let this relax, but I'm going to use the line of the grid paper to line it up. I do need to take my glasses off so I can see it. There we go. I think that's slightly better. And I will put it on more centrally as well, which might help. Okay. Right, let's turn this over so we can get a better line. So I hope everybody's well this morning. Another rather dull day here in Brackley, I'm afraid. It seems to be par for the course at the minute. Although it was quite bright yesterday. It looks like I probably need to re-ink this stamp as well. Okay, so let's try this again. So I'm going to stamp this across the top. Using the lines of the grid paper, really. Like so. That's better. And then I'm going to do one at the bottom. And then we'll see what we can do to add the windmills in. So it looks like I'm adding a lot of ink, but this ink is quite dry on my ink pad. It needs re-inking. So if you've got a new ink pad, you wouldn't need as much as that. Oh, Isabel, bless you. She's on day 5 of COVID. Oh, what a nightmare. You know, it's still just so rife, isn't it? Okay, now what I'm thinking is a line of these. So I'm going to put one in the middle first and then work out. And then maybe what I'll do is put another border here and put my sentiment in that section. Let's see if that works. I'll certainly get 3 of these. Put put it on properly. Oh, morning, Joe. Thanks for popping on. I hope work is going well for you. Very exciting. Okay. Right. So again, I am inking this up fairly well because there's not a huge amount of ink on my ink pad. So that's another job to be done. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is position this fairly central. I haven't actually measured it. Just going to do it by eye, like so. And then put one to the right. Yes, that will work perfectly. And hopefully, if that was fairly central, this one will fit on the left. You could measure it. You could also use the Stamparatus to get those equally spaced. There we go. And so I'm thinking another line of this and then a sentiment in the bottom. Now perhaps what I need to do is stamp my sentiment first, and then I'll know where to put that other position. So let me have a look. I could do with a long thin sentiment, or something that I could repeat. Let's see. Let's have a look. Definitely doesn't want to be Christmas sentiments, that's for sure. What's this one here? I've got Forever Blossoms that says, cherish every moment of this day, which I'll use for this one because it's going to fit in there nicely. And also, you don't want to see me hunting around for, or rather you don't want to wait while I hunt around for another sentiment. Okay, so let's pop this on a block. What I want to do is get it nice and straight to the block. I think I'll get away with that. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this up and try it on my paper first. See how central I've got that. Yes, that's definitely going downhill. Dear. Let's try that. Okay. Slightly up on the right. Okay, so like that. There we go. Now, is it going to look too busy if I put that in? No, I don't think it will. So nice. It fits that really nicely though, doesn't it? Okay, so just inking up that border again. Sorry, that's inking that up off yours, off the screen there a little bit. There we go. There we are. What do you reckon? I think that works, doesn't it? So I could use a light blue Well, don't look at it too closely, Babsy. It definitely goes downhill slightly. So I might use a very light blue blending brush to colour in this windmill. Let's see what this looks like on here. Yes, that will work. But I'm going to leave that and do the other card first. So I've got another idea in my mind. So I'm going to try that. And then I can finish that off so that people need to go. Then I'm not holding you all up. And so for this one, I want to introduce some elements, and I love Eden's Garden anyway, and I love this one with the little dots, which is quite reminiscent of sort of chinaware with little dots and things, and possibly this one. So let's have a look. That one. Move that out of the way. I've got that one and the little dotty one, and I'm thinking just an all over design this time round. Let's get a small block for that. So typically Delftware is often produced on plates, and they actually have Delftware windmills, physical little windmills, which is very cute. I was doing a little bit of research when I couldn't sleep last night. Actually, that's not true. I was asleep and then I had to get up to let Cassie out. So, okay, let's start up here. And I think what I'm going to do is sort of build this as I go along. Normally I tend to do all of one and then fill in, but I want this to be fairly well spaced. So I'm turning this round like so. Let's put one in here. This is just the dotted one. I might just use this one. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. Okay. Morning, Claire. I hope you're well. All the Class in a Box parcels are on their way. So this is just some extra ideas if you've got the Tulip Fields stamp set. Okay, so let's put this one here. Whoop. So this is the one that we've created already, Claire. Hope you like that one. I'm going to colour in the windmills. Hope I don't spoil it. Okay, let's add okay. I don't want it straight over there, so let's have this up and across. I'm a big fan of blue and white. Big fan of blue, actually. Oh, I forgot to turn that round. Never mind. I think we'll be okay. There we go. Let's have this one coming in there. Making sure I'm still on my mat. So I have got my piercing mat underneath because it is photopolymer, just to give it a little bit extra cushioning. There we go, that's worked better than I thought. Sometimes you can have an idea in your mind and it doesn't quite come to fruition, but that has definitely worked. Do that in there. Any other little gaps around the edges. It's amazing, just the tiniest amount on the edge of a stamp can make all the difference. There we go. Okay, so I only used this one from Eden's Garden, but if you've got Forever Fern or anything with a, you know, soft foliage, that's what I wanted, and the dotty bit works particularly well. So that is there, and I just want to add a little bit of blue around the outside, I think. Let's move that out of the way, and I want to colour these in, and I think this just needs somewhere a sentiment with some Misty Moonlight backing. Oh, no worries, but Babsy, thanks for popping on even in that short time. Let me grab blending brush in blue. Okay, seem to got everything but that. That's because I had it out yesterday. Okay. And I don't want it to be too dark. You know me, I'm always on the lighter side. Sorry about that. And I tell you what would be nice. So this is what I'm going to do. Oh, it is Thursday already. Would be white embossed windmills on Misty Moonlight card. So I might have to do that on Monday. Or I might pop on and do it tomorrow. So just a light amount around the edge. In fact, you could do this all the way over. I do love our blending brushes for this. And it's funny because I was watching, you know, these adverts on Facebook keep popping up, don't they? And there was a lady on there that had a makeup blending brush, and she was comparing it, excuse me, Cassie, to sponges. She was using a makeup brush on her face to put on some foundation or something, and she was comparing it to a sponge, and she just put the stuff on the sponge and showed how most of the foundation in this case stayed on the sponge. It took so much of the foundation, it didn't actually give a good coating. And then she did it with a blending brush, well, a makeup brush. There we go. What do we reckon? Oh, I'm not sure you can see much of that detail. Maybe I should make it a little bit darker. Be brave. And in fact, you could do a large sheet of this and cut it up into circles to make it look like a saucer or a plate or something, couldn't you? It'd make them a lovely one-sheet wonder, wouldn't it? Okay. Oh, you can see some of the blending. Oh, jolly good. As I say, in person, it's always much deeper than it is on camera. Yes, it would look nicer. Dark on the outside, getting light to middle. Shall I be brave? Give that a go with some Misty Moonlight then, girls. Thanks, Jo. So let's do circle in the middle. Sorry, don't look if you're likely to go all dizzy. Oh, thank you, Claire. Right, let's see. So just using that motion coming in from the edge. Still doesn't look like anything. To me, it looks really dark. So, oh, you can see there. Well, I can see it. I could go Night of Navy round the edge. That's too far out of my comfort zone. Sorry. So I'm looking forward to our card class on Saturday. There we go. Hopefully that's getting dark. Oh yes, you can see it now. There we go. If I bring that up. From my screen, that still looks really light actually, but it does look darker on my mobile. So hopefully whatever you're seeing is dark enough. So thank you for that wisdom, Jo. Now what I could have done, so in hindsight, I could have placed a windmill right in the middle if I wanted to, but that's worked really well. Now the question is, do I do the same with this one, or shall I leave that and just add a little bit of blue? I've got some balmy blue ink on my blend pens, so I've got light and dark. So I think I'm going to leave those like that, unless you think I should colour those in. Let me know what you think. I'm going to colour these in, otherwise it's a bit stark, and then I might add blending around the edges. Let me know what you think. So this is dark balmy blue. Going to add that in, and then I need to think about sentiments for this one here. Whether I put it on a circle or a little strip. I'm going to leave the door white, I think. And just use a colour lifter to take a little bit of that out. Oops. So if you've got any thoughts on style of sentiment for this one, my gut feel was a circular sentiment with some Misty Moonlight cut out behind. So just adding this in really quickly. It's not going to be a masterpiece of colouring in, that's for sure. That's the dark, and then this is the light. So these stamps are just from the Tulip Fields stamp set. I'll leave those other bits. So all of the cards I created over the last 3 days are all just using that stamp set. I think I used different sentiments, but there we go. Just going to put a line down here for the sails. I hope you haven't been too poorly with it, Isabel. And I hope you haven't shared it with the rest of the family, or maybe Tony shared it with you. Okay. There we go. Okay. Sweet. I do love this little border. Hi, Scylla. Thanks for joining us. We're having fun with some Delft. So let's pop this on. Let's grab an operational glue. She says, there it is. There we go. I'm going to pop that onto a white card. Oops, daisy. I thought I had those ready, but obviously didn't. Okay, so just going to fold that. That's our standard basic thick white card. Perfect for card bases. And then I've stamped on our basic standard card, which is perfect for stamping because it's pressed and coated card. Okay. Sounds like there's a cat up to no good in the kitchen. Okay, so there's that one there. And I think what I'll do... Hi, Nikki. Oh, bless you. Oh, and hi Yuta, thanks for joining us. So I think I'm going to put a windmill on the inside, because this border here, well, it won't quite fit across the card, but I suppose I could have it with a gap either side, so perhaps that's what I'll do. Let me just fold that out, bring this back. Lovely to have you join us, Yuta. Right, that's all nice and dry. And you, Nikki, haven't seen you for ages. Okay. Anybody tell me where I put the stamp set? The ink pad? Here it is. Onto my base card. Okay. So, taking the ink pad to the stamp, as it's a large stamp, it's much easier to do it this way. And I'm just going to pop this along the bottom. So this is not quite going to fill the card base. So it's going to be slightly short on either side, but I don't think that really matters. So there we go. That's our first card. Like that. And then this is our second one. So I'm going to lay this down. Oh, actually, let's sort out a sentiment, because I might punch out something from here before I do that. So let's see. I want something fairly small, so I wonder if sending hugs would work. I think it probably would. Thank you, Kerry. Let's try that on a convenient scrap of paper. Let's find a block. Actually, I might have. I wonder if I've got a stitch square in here, a small stitch circle here that I could use. Yes. Let's try that. Okay, just stamping this off so I can see what it looks like. Go. And then what I'm going to do, so I've got a nice gap there. It's always difficult to know. I might put it in that gap. Right, let me find a punch. Let's measure this one. So a 2-inch circle punch would work. Give me a very slight border. Let's see. Yes. So what I'm going to do is punch it out of here. And while I'm at it, I might as well punch another one. Pop it in my coloured scraps tin. And then pop this onto here and then pop that up with some dimensionals. Which are here. And then we're done. I'm going to put this one flat because this is slightly thinner card. go. Turn it over, give it a good press so any ink on my fingers goes on the back, not on the front. And then a few dimensionals, whoops, and we're done. So I'm definitely going to give that other idea a go, which is white embossing on Misty Moonlight or Night of Navy, but I think Misty Moonlight is more indicative of Delftware. It's just a slightly softer blue. I feel that I want to put it there, which I think will work. Normally I would put it down here, but I've got just that little bit of a gap. Although I could put a few gems in. What do we think? Just looks odd up there, doesn't it? So let's do it here. Like so. And find some gems to pop in. Let me grab my gems. And there are definitely some blue ones. We have some blue ones in the holiday one. We have, so I've got these ones here, holiday rhinestones, and we've got these ones here, which I think would be perfect. Oh, thank you, Isabel. So yeah, we've had great fun with that one. And I don't know if you saw the other ones I made. Okay. Let's stick these layers down. And then I'll put the gems on at the end. That's my bone folder, which I know is just here because I just had it. Okay. I'll improvise with the edge of a block instead. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to put this one down first. Normally I do it the other way, but I don't want to get glue absolutely everywhere. So glue around the edges, like so. Positioning that in there. And then this layer is going to go on top. Like so, and I'm going to keep these flat because I'm going to have dimensionals for the I've added dimensionals for the sentiment. Don't want too much height, otherwise you end up paying more. There we go. And let's grab some of these small blue ones. I think that would work nicely. Grab a pokey tool, pick that out. If it will. There you go. And to fill in that little gap. 2 and 3. There we go. That's it, all done. So I was pleased with those. For an idea that was in my head, actually came to fruition. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I could add 2 little gems onto there as well, but I think I will leave it like that. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me. So the next live I will do, I am going to do that heat embossing, I've decided. So I may pop on tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon after coffee and card, but I'll keep you posted. And see how we go. So thank you so much for joining us. Do hop back and look through my previous Facebook Lives or hop onto YouTube. And I'll also post a link to all of the cards from our card class as well. Because that features much more of the papers and everything. And I'll maybe show you a few of those next week too. So thank you for joining me. Do take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you've enjoyed that, giving you some ideas, food for thought. Time for a coffee for me. So I will catch up with you later. Thanks for joining me today. Do take care, look after yourselves and your loved ones. Isabel, especially, take care with that COVID. And I look forward to crafting with you again really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.